Karbonn smartphones seem to be out of the limelight for quite some time, with the likes of Xiaomi, Meizu and Micromax in the market selling phones of premium quality at affordable price. Can Karbonn make a comeback with its Mark II smartphone? Let's find out on our video review. First, let's talk about the build of this phone. I must admit Karbonn Mark II is a very good looking phone. In fact, it is a lot identical to the iPhone 5s if you look it from the side view. As you can see, it's black all the way through and it feels really premium on hand. On the front, we have got the 8 megapixel front camera and the capacitive touch buttons on the bottom, which are not backlit by the way, which might be a problem for some users. Also, we have got the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. And on the right side, we have got the volume rockers and the power button, which are really solid and tactile. And on the top, we have got the standard headphone jack and the USB cable. There's nothing on the left side. And on the bottom, we have got dual speakers, which sounds pretty okay. You can't complain much on a budget phone. And on the back, we have got the 8 megapixel rear camera with dual flash and the Karbonn branding. And the back of the phone is also protected with Corning Gorilla Glass 3. We can clearly see how much effort Karbonn has put on the build of this phone, and without any doubt, this is the best looking Karbonn phone I have held in my hand. Talking about the display of this phone, it sports a beautiful 5-inch screen. It's a 720p SD display and it produces really sharp and vibrant colors. Viewing angles are great and you get a pretty good outdoor visibility as well. There's nothing so special about the screen, it just looks nice. And one thing I have to mention about this display is that it's really reflective and we have been facing some touch issues during our use. It seems like a minor bug which could be solved by a software update. And yes, this phone will be getting a software update to Android Lollipop. Now let's see the audio and the video playback of this device.
Dance. Let me see you move. Come on, come on, come on. Dance. Let me see you move.
Love never felt so good. Can I die if it ever could? Not like you.
So this phone comes with dual 8 megapixel camera on back and front. It might look good on the spec sheet, but this is where we were really disappointed with this phone. The rear camera can capture decent photos if there is enough light, but most of the time images tend to get grainy, washed out and below average if you compare with other handsets at the similar price tag. As far as the front camera is concerned, we were even more disappointed. You get pretty grainy and dark pictures like the rear camera. And without any doubt, this is indeed the worst 8 megapixel camera that we have seen till date. Now let's see what's packed inside this phone for performance. It sports a 1.4 GHz MediaTek octa-core CPU and 1 GB of RAM, which in our experience performed pretty well. Multitasking was okay in this device. You could do your everyday regular stuffs easily without any issues. Also you can play high-end games in medium settings and other casual games with breeze. And like you may have already guessed, this phone has some heating issues as it uses a MediaTek chipset. Device tends to get hot near the camera section while playing games, so you might have to leave the device to take some air once in a while if you play heavy games. Otherwise, there won't be any heating issues. Now let's head towards the battery backup. And yeah, this is another thing that bothers us about this phone. It packs just 1900 mAh of battery and it's terrible. Manufacturers are sacrificing battery in almost every device nowadays for the sake of design and thinness of the phone. And as you might have noticed, it's a sleek phone and battery has been terribly compromised here. With normal uses, you might hardly get a day of use. And if you check your phone regularly, you might have to grab a charger a few times a day. To conclude, this is the best looking phone Karbonn has designed till date. You'll just love holding this device and looking at it. But apart from the design aspect, we don't see anything special going around with this phone. We really appreciate the design, but the camera of this phone is bad, not to mention its average performance. They could have got a Snapdragon 400 or 14 chipset, which is a standard for the device at this price point. Also, the audio is just fine for dual speakers. Everything is just mediocre, except the design and build quality. If you are looking for a really good looking phone with the best protection you could get, this is the phone for your budget.
Get the fastest speeds on 100% fiber. Vianet, the best thing that happened to internet in Nepal.